these days. So a guy could go out and smash an infinite number of women a month. And ideally, dudes who want to live that life, that's what they want to do. They just want to hit, 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 hit.
Dangerous. Like, why would you want to keep?
I feel you. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just
Yeah.
letting you know.
Yeah.
And a guy who can do that is considered top tier, cream of the crop.
Who?
Why? By
Who
other
you
men,
serious
by,
about?
by other men and
But
society.
why are you trying to like appease and be that for other men?
He's not trying to show out for other men. Other men are just awed by his success because they know how difficult it is to get a woman to sleep with you. Damn near impossible for 80% of men. Did you know that 33% of men between 18 and 30 have had zero sex in the past year or one sexual partner? A third.
That's good. If you're not married and you
Okay.
got or in a relationship like that, that's good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But those numbers don't hold for women. Women are still engaging in intimacy and having sex at the same numbers they've always been having. Men, a third of men are virgins. A third of women are not. The vast majority of women have had at least one sexual partner, right? And the vast majority of women start very young. So I hear you. It would be good if the youngins were keeping it in their pants, so to speak. But it's only a certain fraction of the men who are out there getting the sexual access. Who are these women sleeping with? Women are still sleeping with the same amount of men they've been sleeping with historically since the dawn of time.
Mm-hmm.
But we already said a third of these dudes, right? And then when you start to, when you start to correct for men who are, like gay, they're not into women, when you start correcting for, men who are married or whatever, and you start to really look at it, and now you get into your 80-20 thing. These 80% of dudes are just invisible to women. They're all smashing the top tier guys. All of them. You know what I mean? For the most part. And again, those dudes who can see a man walk into a club and walk out of the club with one of the finest women in said spot, be it a club or a lounge or a grocery store or whatever, have sex with her, they're like, wow, that's like a magic trick. And that holds value in society. Look at Hugh Hefner.
Well, his legacy is not going too well right now.
But in his day, up until recently, he was the guy, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because he had access to basically unlimited amounts of beautiful women. Society, if what do they say about little boys, 13, 14-year-old, 8-year-old boys who got a bunch of girls coming around the house looking for him?
Miss Global Girl. What she just said, I was thinking that too. Let's not talk about why women start young. Because and when you said that, I was gonna say young by choice or young by, that's a whole nother different conversation.
That is a whole nother deal. I must acknowledge that. I'm not trying to say, but when you talk, there are a lot of young women today in today's society who are encouraged to go out there and express their sexuality. That did not exist in this same way.
Because like the music and culture and social media and all of those type of things, like now.
WAP. You know what I mean? That Ski Week girl. What did she say? I don't even know. I ain't never heard one of her songs, but I just know all the little kids be saying it. Sexy Red.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You look at what's been. This wasn't going on, and it wasn't widely accepted. If you were a 14-year-old girl and you had a couple boyfriends coming by the house, the neighbors talking about, look at that little fast tail, little fast girl. But that little boy who's 14 years old and got a bunch of girls coming by the house, he the little man.
Yeah.
Double standard, I know.
Yeah.
But it goes to you. The question was, why is it that men are just doing this, smashing? Because it's very difficult, and only an elite section or an elite percentage of men can actually pull it off. Right. And it's just one of those things. And we're living in a time where that guy is approaching constantly, to your point. But what is he saying when he approaches? Like, what's up? I'm trying to get it right now. You about it? I want to see what's up with that WAP. You're like, nah, I ain't on that. But guess what? The next girl or the girl after that is going to be about it.
She might be with it.
She's gonna be about it. And he's just doing that. Meanwhile, that dude who's the bar back sitting over there behind the bar watching all this go down, he can't get a number. Good, hardworking man. This is his third job. He's working hard, trying to save up to buy his first house, which is almost impossible because the median house in America is $400,000. Right? He's trying to do his thing, desperately trying to talk to I am the single one girl. Help me get into this house. And she's telling him how much money he needs to have, and he's got his credit right, and he's living with his mom. Right? If a man comes up to you like, you know what's going on, I really appreciate you. I think you're a very, very regal woman. I was going to tell you a little bit about myself. You know, I'm living at home, but I'm working I'm driving Uber. I mean, how much more of this conversation you gonna listen to? You driving Uber and you living at home, bro.
I mean, I feel like, okay, and he may be doing that. No. I'm being real, okay? You know, and he may be doing that to kind of save up some money. He may be, you know, lost his job, or he may have like gone, like had, you know, down on his luck, had some hard times, maybe going through a divorce, it got put out the house. And you know, and maybe he had to go back home and save some money and live with his mom and work 3, 4, 5 jobs. Like, okay, at least he got a job. At least he's not sitting on the couch, not doing nothing while mama's probably still working.
So at least you would entertain this brother. How many women, just based on your observation, this is anecdotal, just our own personal observation, out of 10 women, how many of them women
my best friend said, Cap.
See what I'm saying? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Out of 10 women, how many women gonna be okay with that dude with these side hustles, working Uber and all that, everything else, and living in his mama house? Mind you, he's having this conversation on his break. He's the bar back at the lounge you in. He having the conversation on his break. Mm-hmm. How successful is that man gonna be? Keep it 100.
He probably won't. He probably won't be successful.
But that's a good guy, right?
That's a good guy.
Bottom 80, invisible man. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that dudes should go out here and be smashing all these women. I'm not saying that. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is understand this is what's going on. As a paratrooper in the United States Army, and all of our military people out here watching this, anybody who's been down range will tell you this. The best laid plans go awry. Whatever you plan out, right? When you get wherever you're going, don't none of that happen. None of that happen, right? So I'm telling dudes, quit living in a fantasy world in which all I got to do is work hard and be a good guy. And one day when my ship comes in, I'm going to get a baddie. Probably not, bro. You're not going to get that baddie until you cross the finish line, until you own them houses now, until you got yourself a nice vehicle, until you have the money in the bank and you don't have to bust your butt as much. That's when you're going to get it. Most women aren't going to build with you. Most women, in my opinion, and Rich Cooper's opinion, are going to wait at the finish line and they're going to smash the winner. And that's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
But do you agree? You just being nice. Quit being a nice Southern belle.
I agree, but at the same time, I mean, the bar back, he may not be successful that night, but he's a good guy. He's a hardworking guy, and I think that's admirable of him. You know, so I don't know.
But he's a good guy.
They gonna keep saying I'm laughing, but I'm for real. You know,
good guys finish.
Just like you said, he might just be saving up, stacking his bread. You know, so he may have like a game plan. Like, okay, for the next 3 to 6 months, I'm gonna be at the crib with mom. You know, I'm gonna be working this job, this job, this job, and this job. I'm gonna save up X amount of money for my down payment for my house. And then, he's gonna do what he gotta do.
Yes. And he will, and at the same time, while he's doing all that stuff, he's in the gym and he should be working on his social game, his social cues, and he should be building up his game so he can filter through women. Because
he might be in therapy, getting his mind right, preparing himself for his wife, you know, doing the work that he needs to do.
You know what I mean? Brother Mike is in the building. What's good, bro? I saw you jump in earlier, man. My bad. I ain't get a chance to shoot you out, man. So I'm
Hey,
shooting you out
Mike,
right now. That's again one of my day ones. You know what I mean? So
stop the
right.
cap. It doesn't exist in women. Oh my God.
And look, and Life of Cash is right. He's going in the phone as food when he can afford it. So when he starts to come out, right, he starts to get to the bread because it takes, for a woman, and this is something like Fresh and Fit. I don't think you've ever watched Fresh and Fit. We have to bring you back and watch a Fresh and Fit show just so I can see your head explode when you watch some of this stuff.
Let me see. Fresh and Fit.
Oh, you ain't, girl. You ain't looked at their stuff. So we'll do it later.
Okay.
Don't do it now. We'll do it later because I want everybody to. It's gonna be like fresh. Like you ain't never see. Promise me, you never gonna look it up. You ain't gonna watch it. We're gonna do another show.
Okay.
We're gonna do another show. You're gonna come because I want to watch your head just explode when you see the content. Like, what are they saying? But Fresh and Fit says a lot of things. One of the things that they say is the one I want to talk about now is women are pretty much born with their value up front. Like when you're born, you're a woman, you know what I mean? You have all of your value is like baked in up front because you're a woman. And when it comes to the sexual marketplace, dudes are going to come to you, except now with this little thing we're talking about. And even now that men aren't approaching, they still approach these young girls. These girls from 18 to 25, they still getting all the attention in the world. So women are born with their value and they have to do whatever they can to maintain to save their value, maintain their value. Men have to earn their value. It takes time for men to get those traits that most women find attractive. And we're talking about the average dude. We're not even talking about the dudes who know how to womanize and all that. We're just talking about the average guy. So we're going to our buddy Billy, the barback, is working hard. He's in his late 20s now. Billy the barback. He's like, all right, I've paid off all my debt. I got my credit into the 700s. Yes, I've been staying in mom's house for a couple years, but guess what? I have $100,000 cash. I'm ready to put down on my first home. I'm going to buy a 4-family, right? I'm going to get an FHA loan. I'm going to live in one unit, rent out the other 3 units. Now I'm starting to cash flow. When Billy is ready, he comes out of his mom's house and he has 3 properties in 18 months, right? So now he's cash flowing, money is coming in. Billy is like, he's been in the gym, he's looking good. He has some money now, so he doesn't have to buy a designer, but he could buy some nice clothes. His mom's a seamstress. She's like telling it all up. He got his hair right. He good. Billy goes out, went and bought himself a used Mercedes or BMW or whatever, a nice truck, right? He got it used because he doesn't want to waste any money, right? The whole time he's been working, he's been feeding his 401k. His net worth is somewhere in the neighborhood of 800, 900,000. When you correct for the loans he has on his homes and stuff like that. He back. Billy is back. He's 6 feet. He's cut up. He's handsome.
Billy goes out. A husband. Okay.
Right. Now he goes out there. Right. Billy is, let's say at this point, Billy is almost 30. He goes out there. He's 30 years old. What type of woman is Billy looking for? Just physically. Take a guess.
He's looking for a baddie.
How old do you think he's?
Probably younger. So if he's 29, he's probably looking for maybe about 24, 25, 26.
Yeah. Probably like 22, 23, 24. That's probably more likely where he's going.
Really?
All BS aside. So, and guess what? Now Billy's sexual market value is the same or equal to those women in the most sought after cohort, the 18 to 24 range, the most valuable women on the sexual marketplace. You line up dudes from 17 to 70, they're all going to say that if they could, they would prefer a woman from that cohort, right? The 20s.
Yeah.
See how long it took him? He's like 30 years old and he's just now getting to a point where he can go out there and start getting after women, the women that he wants. And if he doesn't have any game, them young girls gonna eat poor up. They gonna eat poor Billy up. And this is what happens to the dudes in the bottom 80 who they do the work, but they neglect the game part of this. And they go out here and they get crushed. Billy goes out here gets beat up by a couple, by a couple girls, winds up finding one who's about 25, 26. Billy marries her, right? 7 years later, she leaves. She got a better offer, but she's taking half of Billy's stuff. That's just how the game works, right?
Yeah.
Billy didn't learn the game. So where does he wound up? He wounds up in the Mano Swamp. He falls down that red pill rabbit hole. And Billy is so upset. You know what I mean? So upset that it didn't work out for him. And he gets that red pill rage. And then someone like you comes walking up, beautiful Southern Belle, with the best personality ever, who's willing to actually pay for some of this stuff when we get to that point. Like, oh, if we get into a relationship, I'm actually ready to settle down and I'm ready to have the kids and I'm ready to do all this. Billy ain't saying nothing to you when he see you. Billy ain't saying nothing to nobody. He's still licking his wounds. He done lost half of his net worth. He done went from $950,000 in net worth to now he's down to maybe $300,000 in net worth, paying alimony. If he had any kids, he's paying child support. He done lost 2 properties. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the reality. And this is why a lot of dudes are not approaching women today. We didn't even get into the marriage part. We'll